I'm Lisa Federico, and this is Inside Northwest Columbus. After spending decades in corporate marketing, I traded boardrooms for backyards because the best stories are happening right here at home. Every week, you'll meet entrepreneurs, creatives, and everyday neighbors doing extraordinary things across Worthington and Northwest Columbus. So let's jump into this week's conversation. Welcome to Inside Northwest Columbus. I'm your host, Lisa Federico, and this month we are talking about all things fashion and style. Fall is here, and with that comes so much more than cozy layers and rich colors. It's a real opportunity for us to reconnect with our personal style. And so in this episode of Inside Northwest Columbus, we're exploring how to look and feel your best this season with Courtney Smith of Surreal Style, as well as Alise Ghanem of ModeAlise, located right here in Worthington. And so together, we're talking about fall and winter fashion, wardrobe transitions, and how you can step out in style this season. So welcome to the both of you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here. Both of you have such an interesting and fascinating fashion journey. I'd like to start with you, Alise, because you came to this country from Lebanon. You didn't speak the language. You started an amazing fashion career here. And I would just love for you to tell the audience a little bit more about that and your background and how you got to where you are today.
So when I first came in, I came to this country. It's been almost 39 years. I decided, okay, I didn't know that many people, so I always had a passion for fashion. So I always wanted to do something with it. So for the first year, I was just discovering to see if I could speak the language, if I could meet, new people and stuff like that. So after 2 years, I met a friend of mine and we did a fashion show. And that was like, I didn't have to speak too much. I just was in the fashion show. And from that, we decided, okay, let's do a finishing school. We started finishing school in Newark, Ohio. And that was for like a year. And throughout that year, we always looked for clothing and different things. And being from overseas, the clothing is completely different. So I had a hard time finding something I liked, and it was different than now. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have any of that media to show us styles and stuff. So for me, it was hard to connect with the fashion in here. So I'm always looking for something different. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to open my own store. And this is how I started. I started up in Newark and then moved to Worthington. Gosh, I was downtown Worthington for 9 years, almost 9 years. And now I'm at the mall, at the Worthington Mall for another 14 years. So that's the whole history.
Wow. And Columbus has really grown in fashion and fashion design.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be talking about Fashion Week in an upcoming episode, but I'm sure that you've seen the change, right, from 30 years ago to today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Especially, like I said, when you have the internet right there to help a lot of people. And I've seen a lot of different in the market. And when I go to shop for the store, there is a lot of things more updated. We used to be like behind Europe, but now we're neck to neck. We are really close to that. They might dictate some of the fashion and we follow it, but we follow with our own look.
Yeah.
And our own style, because what works for them, it might work for some of us, but not for everybody.
Right.
So that's how, I feel like now this is our own word and we could tell them what we like.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I love that. Courtney, tell us about Surreal Style. You have an amazing fashion journey as well.
Well, I've always loved fashion, of course, like most of us. And I decided when I was in college, I was studying psychology. I love the mind. I love learning about what makes people the way that they are. Yeah. And I thought I wanted to do art therapy. And it just didn't work out to where I wanted to actually go that path once I learned more about it. And I have my master's in fashion merchandising, and I wanted to open up my own store because I'd always worked in retail, and I knew that customer service was my love language to people. I loved working with people. The fitting room experience is always so fun and exciting, and you get to really know people on an intimate level if they let you in. And I realized while I was in school and working in retail management, how could I make both of these educational backgrounds of mine work together? And it kind of just fell in my lap that personal styling was a career, and it's something that I could start out doing and hopefully making a change with women and how they view themselves. So bringing in the psychological side of things mixed with how they view themselves in their clothing. So it's much more than just clothing for me when it comes to my approach with personal styling. It's all about their mind, styling their mind, and also their clothing.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me because both of you come to the table with a lot of creativity. You know, I'm a huge fan of your store. As you know, I'm in there way too often. I love, love, love the shoes that you carry because we don't have places in Columbus anymore that are shoe focused. But I also love that you are what you're buying for the store, right? I think reaches a lot of different people. It reaches a lot of different ages. And I can't imagine that that's that easy to do when you're on your buying trips.
I think when you've been in the business for a while, the first couple years, it's like you learn and you start building your business and you start knowing who's your customers. I am for sure my customer is 40 and older. I don't have to think about different things. So at least I set that in front of me. And when I'm buying, I'm thinking, okay, my customer could be a career person, can be a mother, can be going on a trip. She likes to travel. So I'm always thinking about different customers, different type of people who like different things. So, and I'm myself, I'm a moody dresser. So I'm always dressed different ways if depend on my mood the day.
Right.
So I feel like I need to cover that because I have that customer too. So that's why when I'm reaching to different ages, different sizes. I don't believe just tiny, small. I believe in all sizes. So we all come in different shape and size. That's what I'm looking when I'm buying for the store. And the shoes the same. I feel like we need some comfort, yes, but we need funky, we need different. And even if I'm older and I have my customer older than 40, they still want to look good. Right. They still want to look really feel good. That's what's important.
Well,
it's
and
feeling good.
Unlike a lot of the stores, I think you have such a variety. Yeah. Like, you don't have like 5 things all in all of these sizes. They are kind of one of a kind in many cases.
So for me, when I'm buying, I'm going side. I'm not going deep. Yeah. So that's mean I'm picking more pieces and different pieces. I'm not going too deep in the sizing. So I take my chances and I look at the outfit or look at the piece and say, okay, this is good for that type of body. This is good for that type of person. This is petite. This is plus. This is regular. This is me that day when I feel like I want to throw a jacket with jeans. Right. So this is how I look when I'm buying.
Yeah.
So I go a lot broader than I go deep in pieces. So I don't buy 10 or 12 pieces of the same thing. I feel like 3 pieces is good. I go small, medium, large, or I go medium, large, extra large, and sometimes I go up to 2X, depend on the pieces I'm buying. So this way I could give a chance to that customer to buy one fun, one of a kind pieces too.
Yeah. And I love that about your store. I love that there's always something new and always something like a little bit edgy, which is a little bit more my personality. Courtney, you focus on creative people and dressing creative people. But I love how you mix and match like old and new, and you kind of bring it together according to that person's personality. And I'm sure that gets into your background in psychology as well.
Oh, absolutely. I do an intake form with my clients, and it's really, the questions can be like feel really random. Maybe it's asking about their music tastes and all of that. And I just really want to get to know different sides of them so I can really kind of tap into their mind and really pull that creative side out of them. Even though they are already creatives, they're so busy and they're doing their craft. And it's just really helping them stay focused because creatives aren't always focused. And it's just really honing in on really knowing their personality, surprising them with the older pieces that maybe they've forgotten about. It's sitting in their closet. They don't really want to get rid of it. They feel like it's not relevant anymore. But we bring it back to life and we talk about how can it work now. There's just a lot of discussions that go into it, like with the closet edit. That's kind of where I learned so much about people and their buying habits and what they're truly needing help with. Because a lot of times they think it's one thing, but then I uncover a whole other bunch of things.
And I'm shocked about, and I didn't really realize this until you and I worked together. There is such a huge emotional component around shopping and dressing and feeling good and feeling like you're in style. For me, when I go into a store, I can get very easily overwhelmed, and then I completely shut down. And so the emotional component from whether or not you own a store or you're trying to style someone, it's really important, I think, to kind of understand what that person is going through. So how do you make that connection? Like, how do you understand, right, what those person's issues or challenges are?
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And it's really, you have to know how to read people and let them talk. And honestly, I take it all in. I take in their body language. I can tell when they're starting to get uncomfortable about a certain topic. So I can tell there's an insecurity there. And then that's where I was talking about sometimes they think it's one problem or one issue they have. And then I realize when I'm asking more questions, I can uncover what's really the underlying issue with them to really start at one angle with them and then work out. Because it can be overwhelming. A lot of people have different aspects of their personality or what they're going through. Time is the biggest killer of creativity because everyone feels and seems very rushed in life. Yeah. And really it just needs to be where everybody just slows down. But not everybody can do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What about for you, Alise? I know that you are very hands-on with your customers. You've got a great rapport. And how are you able to help your clients with some of those challenges?
Well, you have to be there for them. You have to be there. Again, like Courtney said, you listen to them. And when they come in, and I'd never met them before, I just talk to them, introduce myself and talk to them. And I let them look and I watch them in the store as my experience being in the store. So I look at them and see what they're looking at and what they're doing. Then I come back to them after, let them look for a little bit and discuss it with them. What did you think about that piece? Did you like that piece? Then they open up and they start talking to me. And this is where I feel like I can help because I know exactly what I have in the store. And I could see what their interests and where they're looking, what they're looking for. So I suggest some pieces. I don't like to push anything, so I suggest some pieces. And if they like to try it, it's good. If they don't, they're gonna come back to it. So I always like to kind of come close and show them what I think, because not just the way they're hanging on a rack. Fashion is more fun, and it's fun for me. She might not like to shop, but I want to make it fun for her too. So I kind of mix things. I like mixed things. I don't like to see the things they have them the way they have them on a rack. I bring from here, put it there, and just move it and make their own personality, have their own style in it. I don't want their style to change, but I want to put it more fun and make it more comfortable.
Yeah. If you're enjoying today's episode, you won't want to miss what we've got coming up in October. Our next issue of Northwest Columbus City Lifestyle is all about food. We're featuring signature recipes straight from some of your favorite local restaurants right here in Northwest Columbus. Think of it as a taste of the neighborhood delivered to your inbox. And on the podcast, we're serving up fresh conversations with local chefs, makers, food entrepreneurs who are building community one plate at a time. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a thing, and head to the link in the show notes for exciting offers or to sign up for digital issues of our magazine. One thing that has always confused me about the trends for each season is a lot of the trends are already set in stone like a year in advance. So I know you go on buying trips, for example, and you're probably studying what's coming out through the different fashion shows and houses. But can you take our audience through like what determines trends for each season, and how are you as a buyer or as a reviewer of all this, how do you take that in and then disseminate like what fall, winter is going to look like, for example?
So for me, probably a little bit easier than Courtney because I go 6 months ahead and I look and see what's going on for the next season. So like I already bought winter and fall and winter. We're done. I'm going next week. I'm getting the spring. So you go 6 months ahead and you start picking. So you see what's in, what's the trend, what's going on. But what's in is not necessarily is good for you. So we look and see what our customer wanted and what they like. And I could bring as much trend I can, but trend comes and goes.
Yeah.
And it just goes around. And some pieces you might have in the closet is going to be great for next year. So let's add something to it to make it more refreshed and make it more good. So that's what I think. I don't look and say, oh my gosh, I have to follow this trend. No, I don't have to follow that trend. I will bring something in that trend and I will show it to my customer, but I'll experience with it and see if I could put it the way I like it. Doesn't have to be exactly what they say. I would follow the colors because that's what's going on. But then some colors could be good for me, some colors good for you. So we're going to play in, and it's always good to see what was going on last year because we're not going to throw away clothes. We're going to add to it. We're going to make it mix. We're going to fix it and look better. And we update ourselves every year. That's what I think. That's what I do with my customers.
Great. And how about you, Courtney?
Well, personal style is very personal. So I do follow the trends, but I don't always encourage the trends. I think trends are for the experienced fashion girl, fashion woman. And that's when you want to, maybe if you're wanting to explore and have fun, that's when I will introduce trends to certain clients. But I don't feel like it's a huge thing that I focus on because I'm all about let's use what you have first and build upon that. Because like she mentioned, trends aren't for everyone. Sometimes they're built for a certain build of a body. And what I use trends for is inspiration. Because a lot of times we already have something very similar in our past wardrobe if you haven't thrown away everything. And if you just reimagine what you have and use those trends as a guideline, that saves you money. It also helps you think more creatively, which is what I'm all about, is thinking outside the box. And that's what I focus on when it comes to trends. I personally, for my own personal style, love to experiment. So I will, for certain ones, maybe go figure out what piece I'm really swooning over and wanting to try out. But I don't always encourage my clients to do it unless it makes sense. It has to make sense with their lifestyle, because why buy a piece that's super amazing, but then you have nowhere to wear it? It's just going to sit in your closet.
Yeah.
So,
and we've all made that mistake.
And it doesn't look like them, and then
Right.
they're going to regret it, and they're going to be not happy with it.
Yeah.
And every time they look, they remember, why did I get that piece? Not going to wear. So
the tag's still on it.
The tag's still on.
And it's taking up space in that closet. Yeah, I think we've all had that.
Yeah.
So having said that, what are some of the fall and winter fashion trends that are...
What I saw coming and what I have coming, we have beautiful colors, which is always amazing. The fall colors are beautiful. We have a lot of wine. The brown is the big color for this year. Animal print, you go again, it keeps on going, so animal print is everywhere. There's some metallic. You'll see a lot of metallic. Being in that business for a while, I see it coming back. It's the 80s, the 70s. We have the epaulette is back, the shoulders. We have a double-breasted jackets. You see a lot of the blazers adding onto your casual and dressy.
And are they the boxy types of jackets like from the 80s?
Yes, the
Wow.
shoulder pads. I love them. They're great. Yeah, they're great.
On
they're
trend.
good for somebody's. Yeah. They are it's not too much a menswear, but it's more feminine look.
Yeah.
And you get the shoulders. If it doesn't have the shoulder pads, you have the pleats on the shoulders. So a lot of embellishment. So it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to see that coming back and take some of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's always good, especially when you've been through it once.
Right. What about you, Courtney?
I also noticed that, at least in my research, that emeralds are coming in, like jewel tones,
Yeah.
and
Love
there's
those
teal.
colors.
Teal.
Love those.
and
Yeah.
even a little bit of purples.
Teal, anything
I read
with the
that.
purple, yeah.
Yeah, and then also even I was surprised by this one, like a butter yellow. I had read that was. Did you see much of that when you were shopping?
I saw it before. I saw it in the spring.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of it in the spring, especially in the special occasion too.
Yeah.
And I've seen it coming for the spring, the next spring stronger.
Yeah.
Too. But I've seen the butter yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not a color for everybody, right?
No.
But the jewel tones, I just...
Yeah. And
Very,
it's always
very.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any trends that you saw or are thinking of that are just not your thing or that you wouldn't recommend?
Oh.
It depends on the person.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, trend's not for everybody, but we take it baby steps.
Yeah.
So I think some pieces, they're going to be extreme for someone. It might not be extreme for another person. So I don't think there is something shocked me or something's like, oh, wow, this is, I love fashion, so I'm open for everything. Now my customers, they have to little by little just kind of get used to it. Every season, something new. But I don't think there is anything shocking. Did you see anything shocking?
Nothing too shocking because a lot of it was like revitalization of old trends.
Right.
But I will say I did read up on a lot of unique layering, certain things being said, such as like a tank top over a turtleneck. And I'm like, okay, if somebody reads that, that could be a hot mess. It's like you have to be taught how to do that. Yeah. So I think just being cautious with certain trends, if you notice certain layering, just really being intentional with how they're using pieces.
Yeah.
So even though that's out there, just proceed with caution.
And I think a lot of us, too, to make it easy on ourselves, right? We stick to black and beige, and then, or we stick to solids. That's what I do, so that everything goes together. But there are so many times when I want to introduce prints. And so can you talk a little about, give our audience a little bit of advice about how to combine, right, prints and colors and how to maybe step outside of our comfort zone of the beige and the blacks and the grays, just the neutrals?
I would say for prints, I would maybe start with an accessory. So maybe it's like a floral print earring. Maybe your handbag has a print on it, or maybe you get a scarf that has a print. Just kind of slowly introduce it to your wardrobe because you don't want to get something and, again, get overwhelmed and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to wear that because I don't know how to wear it. But if you're using certain prints with all those neutrals, it should be fairly easy. So I would start with something like that. And as far as neutrals, I mean, you can still have fun with a lot of neutrals and mixing the textures. That's where all the beauty and the magic comes with mixing different neutrals together and doing the unexpected neutrals together. Like the grays and browns. It's not something that people just go towards. But color especially, I would do a shoe. I think that would be a great way to introduce color because it's not right up against your skin to where if you're wanting to try a yellow, but you don't want it up against your skin tone but still love the color, a shoe is a very safe way to do it.
Awesome. Anything from your perspective, Alise?
I think trying the print, I'm wearing a print. I'm not a big, bold print. I'm more the solid, but I love layering.
Yeah.
So I would say, yes, you could try print, but if you want to ease into it, just put a solid piece over it, little by little. You don't have to go all the way print. Then second too is the shape or the size of the person. A petite person would fit in something print different than a tall person would fit, or a bigger size person, or a plus size person. So it just depends on what's your personality in the print. For me, you don't see too many prints in my store. You start seeing some colors because I'm learning to play with colors. But I tone it down by layering it. I love layering pieces.
Yeah.
I'm one, I could wear 3-4 layers on the top of each other and I love it. So I think if you want to try it and experiment the print, just put it under something and little by little ease yourself. And like Courtney said, accessory is the best, scarf is the best, shoes and bags. And we have those. I'm always looking for print and colors in shoes and bags. So
awesome.
It's good to have.
Didn't get the magazine at home? No problem. You can read it for free by signing up for our digital issues. Just head to the link in the show notes. And hey, if you're just listening to this episode, did you know you can watch it too? Catch the full video on YouTube, link below. So let's talk about transitioning from season to season. I think there maybe is a school of thought that's like, oh, you take everything out of your closet and you bring in all of your winter stuff, and you do that on a certain day. Or for me, I have to have everything in my closet. I don't change up the seasons. But what's the best way to transition? How can I make use of the pieces that I wore in the summer when it's getting a little cooler? And how can I make those last, like all of those things that I invested in the spring and the summer? How can I make those last, taking into account fall and winter trends and pulling all that together?
The simple answer is doing a closet edit and just keeping everything organized. So hanging things with purpose, meaning if it's a tank top from this summer and you're wanting to extend the wear and the use, then I would put those in the front of each color story that you have in your wardrobe, and then realize that this is a layering piece. So layering is going to be the number one thing to think about to reuse what you had for this spring and summer season. That's the easiest answer.
Great.
Exactly.
Okay. Shopping smarter. I used to be one that it was all just fast fashion because it was cheap and easy and I could experiment and be done with it. But as I've gotten older, I've wanted to invest in pieces that last a long time. So when someone is considering, how to shop a little bit smarter, how do you advise clients on how to do that?
I have a rule of thumb that I introduce to my clients all the time, and I'm a big stickler with it for myself as well, is if you can't wear something 3 different ways, you don't buy it. Because if you can't think of 3 different ways right there and then who's to say that you won't just wear it one time?
Yeah.
So that's my big rule of thumb.
Good advice.
Yeah. And then sometimes you get a good quality piece, it's going to last you. So if you're buying, be a smart buyer and buy good pieces you don't have to buy too much. But if you get let's say, a jacket, look at something you're going to wear, like Courtney said, 3 different times or more. And I feel like it should not be in your closet if you don't have it to wear different ways. I could wear it casual, dressy. I could put a scarf with it and I could put it with my jeans and high heel. I could do tennis shoes and do a skirt with it. So you have to think. That's how I usually like to help my customers. It's like, you're going to wear it a lot of different ways. And here's the ways you're going to see yourself wearing it. And if that makes sense for her, then she's making a smart decision.
Yeah. So let's say that I'm one of those people where my closet is just overstuffed. I have so many things in there that I just can't even make heads or tails. And I have some friends who their closets look like that. Mine don't. But how do you advise somebody? Because I know, like, for example, you do closet edits, right? What is the rationale behind that? What does it mean? And how can people kind of start the process of paring down so that their wardrobes start working for them versus working against them?
Well, closet edits should be done every season. If not, fall, winter, spring, summer is how I would kind of use it. So not every single season. But it just kind of refreshes things for you. It helps you understand what you have in your closet. So when you're doing a closet edit, what I do is a pile system. So you have the stains or things that need mended. Are you going to treat them? Or are you going to fix them? And then the other pile is the donate pile. So these are the things that don't fit anymore and you're not going to wear again. Might even have tags on it still. And then we have the I'm not sure pile. That's where I come in. If you're working with me, I'll help you go through those pieces, see if they deserve to stay in your closet and if they're still working for you. And then there's the archive pile. That's where it kind of saves you that last minute, like, I'm really not sure. I don't want to get rid of it, but I know I can't use it right now. It's like, I allow you to have that. It's like that extra, like, okay, I'll give myself another year. That just helps you stay more organized in your brain even. So when you open up your wardrobe, everything is organized by color, by sleeve length. It's literally like opening up your closet to a boutique. So that's where it just declutters your mind and helps you start fresh each season. And then again, it helps you realize everything that you actually have. And to go back towards what you had mentioned about keeping all the season clothing in one closet, I don't see a harm in that. I think it all depends on how much space somebody has. And if they have the space to keep it all in there, I would recommend doing that because there are certain pieces that can cross over that if you're doing where you tuck things away, you might easily be like, oh, well, this is a tank top, it's silk, I'm going to put it away. But you might actually still be able to use it. Most likely you can. So that's why I recommend keeping everything together. Because like you said, you like to see everything that you have. Because sometimes out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, I look at the closet personally, how I think about it. I have clothes because I've been in business for a long time. So
I would love
but
to see your closet,
honestly,
by the way.
You'll be surprised because I have good pieces for a long time. Yeah. But then some pieces I don't reach and wear anymore, and I have it hanging. So I give myself a try. So I say, okay, today I'm going to wear this piece, and I'm going to see how I feel. If I feel this piece is going to work for me and I feel good in it, I loved it, I bought it. So there is a reason it's in my closet. So I'm going to wear it today and give it a try. And I would wear it. And if I continue the day with it and come home and feel comfortable and I feel, okay, this is me. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. I'll keep it. If no, it's going to the donation pile. And I've do that a lot. And I go back every year to the same thing like I had from last season. And I say, how do I feel about that sweater? You know, I'm going to try it. I'll find something else to wear it with, and I try it different ways. And if I'm comfortable with it, I keep it. And I have things for a long time. I have pieces. I have some shawls I love and I've kept. And then I look at them and I say, why? I never touch them. But I give them to friends and they love them. Yeah. And then they give them life again, you know. Yeah. So there is some pieces you could let it go. And you need to do that and look the other way and just let it go. Somebody's going to enjoy it.
Right. So the trick is really to do it often.
Yeah.
You know, don't do it once a year. Just, you know, make it a part of. And then when you're organizing your closet, I heard you say something very interesting. Organize it by like clothing type and sleeve length and color. Mm-hmm. And color like light to dark.
So like the rainbow.
So all your blues, all your blacks, all your grays. Mm-hmm. And then by type, pants, skirts.
Yes. And again, that kind of is very dependent on the person's closet of how I organize it. But I'll talk about my own closet. So I start with white and then I end it black. And then I go pinks, reds, orange. You know, I go into like bleeding into that. And honestly, I used to not love that when I was younger. It was like confusing to me because I'm like, wait, all the black is blending in. But then I've trained my mind to, one, realize it helps me not overbuy one color. So I'm sure a lot of people's closets are like, their black is probably like this.
Right. Yes.
So then it helps you realize like, okay, I'm buying a lot of black. So that's the purpose of why I do the rainbow organizing of the closet, because it is helpful. Right. And it makes you dig into your black section and realize what you do have. And that's also what's great about mixing in texture with those colors. So then you can really see what you have. You're like, oh, I see lace, I see satin. You know, you can pick different things and reimagine it that way too.
Yeah.
And then the sleeve length, it just helps you see like, okay, I have this amount of red tank tops and then I have, you know, it just helps you visually see what all you have. It's like taking inventory every single day. And then when you go shopping, it makes it a little bit easier because you can kind of take a mental image like, okay, wait, my white section is very small. Do I need to refresh some of my pieces in white? Do I need to add to it? Again, it's just helping teach that more intentional side of shopping.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about capsule wardrobes because you see that all over social media. And you see people recommending that you just have like 4 pair of pants and 2 skirts and 3 shirts and then it all goes together. Does that really work in real life? I know that for me, when I downsize in terms of clothing or what, it feels so good to have so much less in my closet. There's just a lot less to deal with. But for somebody who's moving from having all this clothing to trying to pare down to a capsule, what's the best way to start?
You want to go?
I'm the hardest one. That's a hard question because I don't think like, you know, I don't like my closet empty.
I don't either.
Sorry.
It feels better, but I like when there's a lot of stuff
exactly.
in it.
So a capsule for me, it's good for a certain, if you're traveling, I feel like pack smart, and I know how to do that, and I know how to capsule. But like I said, I'm a moody dresser. Here you go. I need that little bit of a different, and I can't have everything goes with what. This goes with this, and I'm not going to wear it other way. I want to wear it with different things, and I want to mix it, and I want to experiment with it. So I have a big selection of different things. Not big. I have one closet, honestly. But I like to mix it, match. I don't believe in just a rule. I'm sorry, I'm not a rule. I follow a lot of rules, but in clothing and dress, this is art. So today you feel this and you want to throw a scarf on it and you're going to put a jacket and I want to put it always in a shoe. So I'm wearing it that way. Nobody's going to tell me what's the rule of that. I feel like enjoy it, have fun with it, wear it and be free. That's what I think. To me, that's my belief in that.
So I think capsule can be looked at a lot of different ways. I'll keep it to 2 different ways. Capsule wardrobes work really well for the people that just want to keep it very simple. And they just want to, maybe they have a smaller closet. That's usually the 2 biggest things is they want less options, so there's less overwhelm. But you can also look at it as miniature capsules. So for those that want to pare down a little bit and want less overwhelm, you can create mini capsules. So what that means is you have your standard capsule pieces, meaning like your pants. Yeah, your standard pieces, your workhorses. And then you can be like, okay, so what is my travel capsule wardrobe? So that'll be separate. You can have your, fun wardrobe. So maybe it's going out with friends or date night. So that's your like date night capsule. So you have it organized in your closet, however, what works best for you, but keeping it more, again, compartmentalized into different sections of your life. Yeah. So you've got your travel, you've got work, you've got play, and anything else in between. So maybe you can even have a capsule wardrobe for your workout. So maybe it's just getting very intentional pieces for if you're really into the gym and keeping that as a capsule wardrobe. It's really just a word, and it's really just meaning organization and intentionality.
So I have to ask, what is each of your one like must-have item, right, for fall and winter fashion?
Mine's always blazers.
Yeah, same. Same. I like white shirt.
Yeah, they go with everything.
I love white shirt. And I love jackets. Yeah. Blazers always must have.
Yeah. And is there a style rule that's worth breaking?
The style rule is there are no rules because rules kill creativity.
Yep.
And it's just, I will always say there are no rules. Not anymore.
Yep.
So that's my answer.
I feel it's I'm an artsy, so I like different. I don't think there is a rule. No, I don't think so.
So you break all the rules is what we're saying.
See what works for you. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
What works for you doesn't necessarily work for me.
Yeah.
So whatever you're happy with, that's what I like my customer to be, and to wear what they want. And that don't worry about, is that gonna go? No. Wear it. You're comfortable with it. Enjoy it. That's why sometimes you see some people, they're like, what are you putting on me? If it's not you, please don't tell me, because I could overdo it,
Right.
Because I like layering. I like different things. But yeah, it's just everybody's personality is different. I cannot put a rule on anything. I feel like they have to have their own personality. I cannot tell you what to wear and feel like I'm changing your personality because I like it on you.
Right.
You need to be happy with what and comfortable with your own.
Yeah, and maybe that's the perspective that we need to come at this, is that there really are no rules. To feel comfortable in what you're wearing is the most important. And I think sometimes we get wrapped up in, I really should be, looking like this or more fashionable or, creating that style is just not always easy for everybody. And especially being comfortable with the style that is uniquely you. I'm very excited for you to talk to our audience about the offer that you have for your style edit. Can you let our audience know what that's all about?
Yeah, so the seasonal edit is one of my signature sessions. And basically, I'm coming to your wardrobe. I start with a closet edit. So then that way I know much more about you. I'm learning so much from the intake form to the closet edit. I already know, like I said earlier, your shopping habits, what you're not wearing, all of that. So then that's giving them a fresh start and they're feeling like, okay, this is what I've got to work with. And then we go from that point and I will then put together a list of things that they would really benefit from having through the discussions we've had. So it's never going to be about adding things that I think this is what you need. It's more so like, let's collaborate on this and let's really talk about your lifestyle and what's going to work. What events do you have coming up? There's just a lot of conversation that happens. And then I do the shopping for them. So it can work a lot of different ways, but a lot of times I'll meet them at a store and I'll have everything pulled ahead of time for them to just walk into the fitting room. Here's your pieces to try. And then it makes it so much easier. There's no overwhelm. And then sometimes people want me to bring the pieces to them instead of going to the store, which is completely fine as well. It all depends on what they're comfortable with. And then I would bring the items to them. We can actually see their wardrobe in front of us, and we can really start mixing and matching what they have so they understand it. I put together visuals for them too, so they have inspiration to follow, so they know, like, this is who I am. So they don't go in there and shop by themselves and see all these different trends. I'm like, okay, should I add that? I really keep it clean and simple and more straightforward, and just helping them align themselves with their personality and their fashion together so that they feel comfortable and confident when they walk into a room. So there's a lot of different things that go into it that I could talk about it forever. But, there's the psychological aspect of it that I really go into as well.
And we will put that offer in our show notes. But can you tell our listeners what the offer is for them listening today?
Yes. Yeah. So if you mention this podcast, you will get 10% off of that seasonal edit.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Sure.
And Alise, what can our listeners expect from ModeAlise?
We're starting our fall season. So in a week, we'll have all the fall outs. We're getting it little by little. So I am offering for everybody who mentioned they've listened to our podcast. Again, we're going to give them 15% off their purchase. So just to mention that they listened to us today. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for being on the podcast. And for all of our listeners, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please be sure to check out our show links for those exciting offers. And we will see you next week on Inside Northwest Columbus.
Boxland Media. Think big.